It's coffee time on Salt's YouTube channel, and I'm here with
Rachel Coughlin.
Rachel, and I'm Lauren Windle, and we're asking the all-important question: where is this going? In church dating, the "what is this" conversation, I think, comes up far more between a male and female friend who've been hanging out and having coffee.
No, I think you're true.
Than it does between two people who've very definitely been dating and aren't sure if they're going to be exclusive. And I think a lot of people, particularly women, will relate to sitting someone down or sending someone a message or sending someone a voice note and saying, like, we get on really well, that we seem to vibe, we love spending time with each other, we both love Jesus. Are we doing this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I wonder whether that's where the weird pressure of, like, first dates and, like, friends hanging out at coffee, I wonder if that's an overlap with that issue.
You have to use the word date if you're going to ask someone out on a date.
Yeah.
And don't subject someone to date zero, where you're like, I'm going to spend time with you one-on-one to work out if I want a first date. So this is date zero. Because you're auditioning someone for a job that they did not apply for. You do not know if they want that first date anyway.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there evaluating them in a way that feels really dehumanizing when they think someone from church or whatever has reached out in friendship. And actually you can really go wrong doing that both ways. And then if somebody does fancy you, they're aware that there's this subtext that this might be a date zero, and you never ask them out on a date, then they kind of have to mourn a breakup they never had. You know, it is the badlands out there. What we need to do is just say, I think we get on really well. Do we want to grab a coffee and see if we want a date? And then they know. And then they can go, oh, I don't want to date, but thank you so much. I don't need to explore this with a day zero coffee. Or they can go, all right, I think it's friendship, but the coffee never hurt anyone. And that is what I'd encourage people to do, to have the coffee. But I just, you know, the sort of auditioning process where it's very clear to the guy or the girl that they're being put on trial for a potential date that never comes is like Christian standard, and it has to stop.
I mean, this is something that I try and kind of push with my mates, is like, unless it's called a date, like not a date, like just name it, like have like open communication. And like all of the experiences I've had, or like friends that I've got where it's been a, hey, I'd like to explore this, been really open communication, but it has been a, you know what, actually not from the other person's end, has actually been fine afterwards. I think we need to give people more credit for being nice people.
And actually what we also, yes, totally agree, we need to also get it into our heads that if you say, hey, Rach, will you go on a date with me? And if you then say no, that does not make me unattractive, undesirable, worse than you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It just means that two people who are equal didn't feel the same connection. And that's it. It's not that there wasn't the same connection because that person's down here and you're up here.
Oh, absolutely not.
And that's why.
No.
It is literally because that's just not right. And a world where everyone feels a connection is an absolute, you know, chaotic orgy, quite frankly. It's not what we want.
No.
We want a world where there are varying degrees of relationship that we get to engage in and enjoy in a God-centered way. And if everyone was that special, that they could be that one, the person that you marry.
You'd just marry the first person that you bumped into, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It would change a trip to the co-op, that's for sure. So I think that we need to dispel this fear of just saying like, hey, it's vaguely crossed my mind that because we get on really well, we may want to date. I don't know if I do, I don't know if you do, but should we just hang out one-on-one? We can call it a date if you want, we don't have to call it a date, but let's just see, you know, let's just see if we get on. And if we definitely do, we'll do something we do call a date. And if we don't, then like, had a great hour and a half with a mate. Literally nothing's lost. Nothing's lost. And I tell you what, both men and women respect that level of communication so deeply. You would never come across badly if that's how you approach someone.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Whether it's a yes or a no, you like that is, as far as I'm concerned, a woman or a man of integrity. And that's amazing.